We have seen a lot of Nebraska football news drop over the past 24 hours. The House settlement is about to get finalized, and with that, we're going to get clarity on the 105 cap limit. Is it actually happening? NIL, revenue sharing, and so much more. I'm going to let you guys know all the details coming to college football, and more importantly, what this means for Nebraska. I'm going to give you guys some numbers. How good is the Huskers NIL compared to the rest of the pack, and whether or not we're going to actually have to cut anybody off this team. And then I'm going to give you an update on an in-state running back who has been blowing up recently, been picking up a lot of good offers. The Huskers are rumored to be getting involved very, very soon. And then last but not least, Nebraska's helmet has went viral recently. A lot of people are calling for a change, and there's rumors that it might happen, that Nebraska might be changing up their helmet. We'll talk about it and so much more. So really quick, this is a jam-packed video. You're going to want to stick around for the entirety of it. Hit that like button if you're fired up. And really quick, if you support the channel, it takes 2 seconds and it really, really helps me out. Please hit that subscribe button. Once again, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's get into it. I want to start things off talking about the House settlement, because right now, once again, the future of college football is being discussed in Washington, D.C., talking about roster limits, NIL, revenue sharing, what this means for Nebraska most importantly. So again, I've been receiving questions every single day about the 105 cap limit, what's going on there, what grandfathering even means. So as it stands right now, we have 124 players on the roster. If the 105 cap limit is implemented, we would have to cut 19 guys going into the fall. Now, with that being said, the plan right now and what's going to happen, now you can take my word for this, it will happen, is it will be grandfathered in, which means the 105 will not actually be a thing this year. Everybody who's currently on the team will graduate with Nebraska. It will take 4 years for the 105 actually to be fully implemented, which again protects everybody who's currently with Nebraska. So again, that's a very good thing. It means that competition continues to thrive, that all the walk-ons, they still have a place on this team, that we won't have to cut any DB specifically. So I know I've got question after question about it. Don't worry about that 105 cap limit. It's old news. It will not happen this year. Now, let's talk about the NIL, because there's been a lot of things going on recently in this House settlement discussing NIL revenue sharing. Now, there's been basically a move that universities now can only spend $20 million per year on their athletes. Okay, $20 million per year. That's all the revenue sharing that they can get. And I know a lot of people have been saying on social media, oh, this is great. It means that universities like Texas, Oregon, they can only spend up to $20 million. That is not true. It was just reported yesterday that Texas will be planning to spend $35 million on their team this year. Let me repeat that. Texas is spending $35 million on their team this year. What does this mean, Wilson? I thought you just said that they can only spend $20 million. Well, the university can only pay the team $20 million. The other type of money that they're getting is from these outside sources. They're collectives that aren't associated with the universities. These booster clubs, the Lamborghini, deals, the Nike deals. So there's going to be a lot of loopholes made. I know the $20 million, that sounds great to a lot of common fans. Say, oh, teams can only spend $20 million. That's great. So teams can't go over that. That's not true. There's still a lot of loopholes. So that doesn't really, it pretty much means nothing for Nebraska. It means nothing for the other schools because you can get around it. Again, as for Texas spending $35 million, and this is just terrible for the sport. I'm just going to give you my opinion. I was never a fan of NIL. I'm all for the players getting paid, but at this point, it's getting excessive. Players shouldn't be been paid millions of dollars a year. What are we talking about here? There shouldn't be payrolls of $35 million a year. There just shouldn't be. It's ruining the sport. And again, 5 years ago, nobody's getting paid. Now they're getting paid millions of dollars every year. It's crazy the way it's went. It was never going to be, local dealerships like people were saying. No, it was always going to be this way. Politics got involved in the sport, and they're ruining it right now. Now, college football, I shouldn't say they're ruining the sport. It's changing. It's just changing. And some of it's for the better, some of it's for the worse. It is what it is. But let's talk about Nebraska's numbers really quick here. I can firmly tell you that Nebraska is paying for their team this year around $10 million. So they're in the 8-digit range. Now, a lot of Nebraska fans are probably not happy about that because they're saying, Texas, they're paying $35 million. Nebraska's only getting paid $10 million. Well, it's still a really good number for Nebraska. Just know that Nebraska's $10 million that they're spending on the team is still top 15, top 10 in the country. So we're in a really good place. The boosters are getting a lot more involved. Troy Dan's doing a really good job at that. Matt Rhule's doing a really good job at that behind the scenes. Just take my word for it. So again, Nebraska's in a good spot when it comes to NIL, but it's going to get really hard to compete with schools like Texas, Oregon, Ohio State on a year-end basis if they're paying 2 to 3 more times on their team than we are. So we got to start putting our money up a little bit if we really want to become national contenders every single year. So that's the discussion around the NIL. Our NIL is good. I'd say it's great. It's just not elite. It's not top 10. It's definitely not top 5. So one of the guys let you know that, but the big thing I'm looking out for is the roster limit in the settlement. All right, let's talk about the second segment I want to get to. Again, stick around for the helmet discussion because, again, we went viral. We went viral with the helmets. People want to change it. It looks like it's coming, but before we get into that, I want to introduce you to Nelson Wheeler, who's a 2026 Omaha running back who has been blowing up recently. Picked up an offer from Michigan State today, Oregon State, Northwestern, Maryland, Kansas, Washington State, Wisconsin's in the mix here. You know, when Wisconsin offers a running back, that running back is legit. So let me introduce you to this guy again, Nelson Wheeler, coming out of Millard South, who's previously with Grand Island. He's about 5'9", 200 pounds. He's one of the fastest players in the state of Nebraska. He's a track athlete. He's a guy, again, who can he's the fastest guy on the field. He can make you miss. He has a really good build on him, already at 200 pounds. So again, this is a 2026 kid. In Nebraska, obviously, they haven't offered many 2026 athletes. They've only offered 3 in the state of Nebraska, that being, of course, Darian Jones, Jace Reynolds, who just committed, and then, of course, Isaac Jensen. But this could absolutely be the 4th with the way it's going. Now, Nebraska, they feel good about the running backs that they're pursuing in the 26 class, whether that's a Zevin Walker, Brian Bonner, one other from New Jersey. I'm blanking on the name. But again, Nelson Wheeler is somebody who I'd pencil down if I'm a Nebraska fan, because this guy's legit speed. He's in our backyard. He's not ranked right now, but with the way he's been blowing up, I think he's going to be a 4-star. I really do. I really do think he's going to be a 4-star with the way he's getting some offers. So would watch out for this name coming out of Omaha. Speedy athlete. And I mean, again, Nebraska, they're very particular in the state, and I'm cool with that. I'm not calling for them to offer this guy. I'm just putting it on your radar because this guy has been blown up. And if a lot of Power 4 teams are offering him, should perk up your ears because he's in our backyard. All right, let's talk about our helmet, because Taylor Lewan went viral yesterday saying that he wants Nebraska's helmet to be changed. So Taylor Lewan, obviously familiar. He's with Will Compton on Bussin' with the Boys. So again, he's a big presence on social media. And he basically said that he loves Nebraska, loves the fans. He was here for the spring game, but we need to change this N. And this isn't just Taylor Lewan. This has been kind of a common sentiment over the past couple of years. People want this Nebraska Netflix N to change. They want to put the block N. They want to basically completely change it up. I want to know your thoughts. Before we talk about it, what are your thoughts? Comment down below if you want to see Nebraska's helmet change. Do you want a block N? Do you want a red helmet with some white lettering? I don't know. I'm just going to give you my opinion. This roughly would be what it would look like if we put the block N on it. I don't like this. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I think this is just kind of a corny look. It's kind of corny. I like that Netflix N. It's just historic. It really is. And it looks clean in my opinion. It's a clean N. It's an iconic helmet. And the way that Nebraska works is we're all about being iconic, right? We don't have too many alternate uniforms. We don't really change up our style that much because when you're a national brand, you don't change anything up because you're iconic, right? Minnesota changes up their uniforms every other year because Minnesota sucks and they've never won all time. So they can do that. But when you're a team that's as relevant as Nebraska, that's won as much as Nebraska, you never change up your uniforms. That's why teams like Nebraska, you could say Michigan, you could say Bama, you could put some other schools, Oklahoma in that equation. Those schools have never changed their uniforms or their helmets because it's iconic. So my take is I don't want Nebraska to change their helmet. Now I want to hear what you have to say. Now I will say this. The helmets that we wore versus Buffalo, I want to say this is 2022 or 2021. These are the only helmets that I would consider changing to. These were clean. These were really, really clean. You got the NU on there. You kind of got it's a different helmet type, a little glossy. So I love these helmets. If there's any helmet I would change to, it would be these. But I'll just say this, like as for the block, most of the teams that have block logos like we do, they don't actually have the block logo on their helmet, right? Maryland, block logo. They don't have the M on their helmet. Michigan does not have the M on their helmet. USC does not have the M on their helmet. Michigan State usually does not have the M on their helmet. Penn State usually does not have the P on their helmet, right? So Again, I just don't think this looks great, but I would be in favor of Nebraska changing up their helmet if it looked like this, because these are pretty clean. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below about everything. The in-state running back, the house settlement, the helmets. Absolutely want to hear if you say, hey, if you made this far in the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, come on, grab. Go on, my Rhule. See you in the next one.